Alright, today's video is brought to us by Oreos. Not just any Oreos, but mint flavored Oreos. Now Oreos has like 85 varieties of flavorings, but still they haven't figured out how to make a bacon Oreo. So let's take a look at this knife today. It is a Chinese company, and it sounds like a German company. It's the Kizer. The Kizer company. And this knife is they call it the Roach, which is probably the worst name in history for a knife. It's item number V4477E2. It's a new item made right there. They could have named this thing anything. I mean, Kizer means king or ruler or monarch. They could have named it the Kaiser Wilhelm or the Kaiser Stuttgart or the Kaiser Commander, anything but Roach. Just not a good choice. So let's take a look at this thing. Comes with a plastic insert. And I got this one from the Mojave Outdoor Company. They sell Kizer knives. Very low supply though. Okay, so it came with a little cleaning cloth, which is always nice to have around. And some information on the company and the knife. It's the usage and safety warranty manual. And the founder and CEO of Kizer is C.K. Zhu. And it gives you instructions how to use it, etc., etc. And a few pictures on the back of some machinery. It's nice. So let's take a look at this little Kizer. And this plastic tray, very cheap. So here is the Kizer in Green Micarta. It's got some texture to it, not much. But if you look real close, you can see the 10 layers. Micarta is a layering process, cloth, glue, anywhere around 10 layers. Very stiff and strong, indestructible, you might say. This is a really nice looking knife. And it does have a flipper, and there are traction notches on that flipper. It really comes out fast on that. It's got a smooth ball bearing action. And if you look closely, there are no traction notches on the thumb ramp. There should be some there. Nothing on the blade or the handles. It's got a one-way pocket clip that's not bad. It's nice and deep. It has the flat screws. And like I said, it's got no traction notches anywhere. And it's a liner lock. And if you look real close, you can see it's got cutouts on one of the liners. Looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4. About the size of maybe a dime. And it's got a really good finger choil right here. Let you do some up close work. Ball bearing flipper, really a good feeling knife. And the point is a spear point. It could be a leaf design, but they call it a spear point. I like the black blade. Let's take a look at the blade markings. Okay, there's a Kizer logo. And over here we have the steel, which is N690. And again with the product number. And on the other side, they even marked the blade Roach. And it's a Matt DeGrom. I don't know what his name is, but Roach. That's a horrible name. Closes nice. Comes out really fast. And the blade length on this little thing is right at, I'm thinking where the sharp part of the blade is about 3 inches. And the overall length is just about 8 inches, maybe a little bit longer than 8 inches. And it does not have a lanyard hole, and the pocket clip is just one way. Very smooth, lots of fun to play with. And the weight, the weight is not real bad for this large of a knife. It is 5.7 ounces by my scale. And as a comparison, I got a few things. Let's see, this is the Cold Steel Spartan. Not nearly as big as the Spartan. And I got a Spyderco Military. Just a little bit smaller than the Military. Probably, well, that looks like about 1.5 inches smaller than the Military. But here's the Spyderco that it's closest to. It is the Spyderco Paramilitary. It's the Paramilitary 2. It's about the same size. This Roach. I really like this knife. It's got a good weight. It's a little bit overweight, but it's got a nice feel. Handle's really good. Let's do a little cut test. Let's try some computer paper. It's actually really sharp. I'm really happy with that. Let's cut something that has a little bit more to it, and I'm going to use the DiGiorno cardboard box, and it makes it especially tough because it's got the rising crust. These rising crust cardboard boxes are 30% thicker than a normal DiGiorno box. You can see it cuts through that really nicely, except there or there. Having a little trouble with this. That's not bad. So it cuts through the DiGiorno rising crust box. If you know what you're doing, pretty easy. And it didn't leave too much of a mark on the blade going through those things. And one more test. Let's do a drop test. This is going to be on a soft pine. You can see I've used it before, and I'm aiming for the space between the layers, the soft space. And this has a pretty nice point on it, so it might stick. Might stick, might not stick. Let's try it. Try one. It's probably too heavy to stick. I'll try it one more time. So it fails the drop test. It's just too heavy to stick even in that soft pine. Overall, I like this knife. Very smooth. Lots of fun to play with. And I would give this Kizer knife just a little cowbell, except for the name. I don't like the name at all. Knuckle bomb.